custom Mandalorian armor for my buddy Brandon. And here is where we're at. We've got a little more Bondo needed on this. You can kind of see some of the layer lines there, and then obviously under where the visor goes, going to need some there. Slight bit of Bondo here just to get rid of these layer lines, although sanding may take care of this. I think the blaster is almost done, ready for paint. And the shins, I think, maybe a little bit of Bondo, but mostly done there as well. All these pieces need to be sanded again. These have been sanded, they need paint. So, need another set of glazing spot putty on these, a little more sanding as well. And then the chest piece is mostly ready. I might put a little more Bondo glazing spot putty on this as well. So probably another coat of filler primer on everything and Bondo glazing spot putty. We got a couple pieces that still need to be sanded. Let's start with those. I'm using a 220 grit here just to sand down. Actually, these have been sanded. These have been sanded. No, all these have been sanded. They just need to be rinsed. And more glazing spot putty. Actually, these have all been rinsed. So let's move on to the glazing spot putty and we'll see what happens there. Touch-ups on these. And I haven't been able to work on this for a couple days. I've been busy at work, my real work, so I'm happy to get back on this. And then Brandon did just let me know that he got the cod piece in, as well as the back plate and the jet pack. So he'll be sending those along to me shortly, I'm sure. Welcome aboard. If you're here, let me know if you got any questions about what we're doing. Pretty straightforward, but happy to share any and all information that I have. And we're just coating this to get rid of these layer lines. You can see them in there. That's what we're trying to get rid of. Layer lines. They're not the friend, not your friend. And too many people stop this process too soon, and you're not going to have a prop that looks good until you get these all smoothed down. So yeah, it's a shit ton of sanding. It's a shit ton of doing the same repetitive process over and over again. But trust me, you want to do this. Your prop will look better. You'll be happier. All around, it's a better thing. All right. And I got to get this stuff done early in the day here in the summertime because my workshop here is in the garage, and it's currently a heat index of 90 degrees. And it'll get up to 100, well plus 100. What's up, Oreo cookies? May the force be with you. Welcome aboard. Yeah, this is a Mando. It's a custom Mando for a friend of mine, fellow 501st member out of the Mobile, Alabama Garrison Delta Squad. He is doing a custom Mandalorian, and he asked if I would paint it. And I said, absolutely. Finish it and paint it. This is fun for me. So yeah, that's going to be, I think it's a pretty cool armor he's got. The purple scheme, or the color scheme is going to be a purple and gold. I've got those two there. Got some ideas for a graphite rub on the purple to give it kind of a nice metallic look to it. So I've got big plans, big plans. All right, now back to the sanding. This is definitely the way. This is the way. Barely started, already sweating. Haven't even started the hard stuff yet. All right, so let's see about maybe a 400 grit. Sandpaper. No. We got some 400, and I'm going to go at this with a 400 and see what it does. But basically, this has been filler primered, and you can still see layer lines on there. Every time you sand this down, it's going to help that, but I'll probably need another spat of Bondo glazing spot putty. In fact, I'm going to go back to 200 on that. Yeah, this is 3D printed. I think it's PLA. But this was a 3D printed armor from Alexander Mokes was the maker of this. Alexander Mokes made the armor. But yeah, 3D printed. All right, that's ready for a rinsing. Every time after you sand this stuff, you want to rinse these pieces off to get the dust off before you go to the next step. And that's really what takes the most time on all these. It's just the waiting between steps, the waiting between paint layers and Bondo layers and sanding and drying. And this one's going to be a fun build because, again, it's nothing from in-universe. It's going to be a custom Mando. Well, I mean, it's not seen in any media. So got a lot more freedom on the build and the paint scheme and all those kind of things on here. So that's kind of fun. But he is going for Mando Mercs certification, which at times can be more difficult than 501st. I built Calvarada custom Mando for another guy in Mobile, Cody, who's the head of the Mobile 501st, and actually more difficult getting it approved in the Mando Mercs than it is in the 501st. So. Still got some layer lines on these as well, but it's getting much better. So I hope everybody is having a lovely Saturday. I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for temperature changes. I'm ready for football. It's going to be a good time of year. And here is the West Star Blaster. This is a nice print. This one is, it said who it was from on the bottom here, but I've done my best to try to cover it up. I think it's the same dude, Alexander. I am off work today, so I do plan on doing a couple lives. And jump on my Mostaro puzzle a little later as well. So, Cody, what's up, Cody? Yeah, this one's for Brandon, man. This is the Mando I'm building for Brandon. It's custom. Some good pieces here. He's got. I love the thighs. The thigh pieces are very cool. Going with a purple and gold paint scheme on this too, so the thighs and the shins are pretty awesome as well. Cool little flared out shin. So yeah. But this is a nice looking set of armor. And then I believe you saw in the Delta text, he got the jetpack as well. Gotta say, I'm not a fan of jetpacks in general. Looking forward to South Alabama Comic Con. That's going to be a blast, man. And I plan to be down there every day. And I told, Mando Rex is doing his damnedest to get his Bakara completed and approved beforehand, but I told him he could hang with us. I think he'll have it submitted by then, and I have no doubt he'll get it approved. The thing looks awesome. Mando Rex is sketchy. You know what he did in real life? Like before this, he was a fucking rescue diver for the Coast Guard, man. I mean, that jumping out of fucking helicopters into freezing ass water to rescue people. That's about as badass as you can get. Well, I had these from him. I went over and gave him a lightsaber. Just because I felt like, I got lightsabers sitting around my house that I never use. So I gave him a lightsaber, and then he gifted me these. He had printed these. They were too small for him. They wouldn't fit over his boots. So I've got a new set of clone shins from him. Yeah, Alaska, dude. I wouldn't fucking go in the water in Alaska, much less voluntarily jump out of a helicopter into the water. So if y'all do not follow Mando Rex, he's not on YouTube, but he's over on Instagram. Go check him out. Friend of ours that is into the prop building thing and does it kind of as a full-time, part-time, full-time job. Makes some excellent, excellent props. Go check him out, Mando Rex. And you'll find him on Instagram. Maybe on TikTok too, I'm not sure. My life as an armorer. Yeah, I'm very jealous of Mando Rex's setup too. My wife's giving me just a corner of the garage, and I keep it a messy hell. His is like a professional shop in there. It's fucking awesome. He's got printers in there, whole paint booth in there. I wish I had the time or the patience to keep my areas clean and well maintained. So I'm very glad I met him. I met him at last year's show. I think that's kind of where you met him too, where he had the booth. I walked up and I saw a booth with a dude with all kinds of helmets. Literally is 10 minutes from my house. It was like perfection. A match made in heaven. Yeah, that the one with the fucking horns, right? Yeah, badass. Yep, he does very good work. I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of really good prop makers. A lot of prop makers that are a lot better than me. And I got a lot of people I'd feel comfortable suggesting work to, and Mando Rex is one of them. All right, so that is everything sanded. See if this Mondo's, that's probably good to go too. So that's dried enough to sand what we just put on there. Let's get that sanded up. Then it's rinsing time. And I'll be back to more painting. Oh no, wait, I gotta sand that boy. Let's let this dry some more. Let's get on this one. And most people bitch about the sanding process. What's up, Ike? I actually find the sanding to be therapeutic and relaxing. It does not bother me as much. What bothers me is taping. Taping for like a difficult multi-colored paint job, that can be a bitch. Happy Saturday to you too, Ike. I hope you have a good one, man. I'm just going to sit around in this awful, ridiculous heat. I mowed the lawn this morning. It was at 7:30, and it was already 90 degrees. Lost about 20 pounds, and then decided, hey, why not just run out to the shed or run out to the garage and start sanding shit? Because that sounds like a completely cool, relaxing thing to do on a Saturday, but I had to get it done early because if not, I'd be a wet, hot mess out here. And I hadn't been able to work on this armor for a couple days due to real work, so I felt like it was needed. And I'm almost at the time where the temperature really won't matter. Fall is perfect here for painting and doing all kinds of work. Like right now, it's almost too hot to paint. Painting becomes difficult in this extreme heat. I mean, it's almost too hot to have this armor outside because the shit might melt. So, just a couple weeks away from more unridiculous temperatures. Oh, I love rain, man. We had a lovely thunderstorm last night. The last couple days, though, it seems like it's rained all around us. This time of year, here in the Alabama Gulf Coast, we pretty much have a 40% chance of rain almost every day. Just little pop-up thunderstorms off the Gulf. the last couple days they've just been kind of hitting around us, but we got a nice little rain yesterday. I love a good rain. It is also, however, not conducive to prop making. Ike, did you see that they cast Callus for the Ahsoka Season 2? Alexander Callus, one of my favorite characters. They cast Wyatt Russell. So hopefully he does that part well. I think half the issue is just going to be getting those pork chop sideburns. But he was one of my favorite characters from Rebels, which if you have not seen Rebels, Rebels is by far the best Star Wars series out there. And I'll fight you over it. But they managed to bring a lot of the characters into live action through Ahsoka and Mando. So they're adding Callus to the mix. Really good actor for it. Yep. Yeah, I'm excited for Season 2. Did you see Ewan confirmed that he is going to be in Season 2? I'm pretty sure he'll have some Clone Wars armor on, which again means Clone Wars flashback, which means live action clones. And that just makes me happy. It would be really awesome if they let someone like me make the armor to where we could make it better than the armor they had. Although I gotta say, the armor has been getting progressively better. The armor that they had in Ahsoka was better than the armor they had in Andor, and better than the armor they had in Kenobi. So it's progressively gotten less wonky. I just don't get why they didn't let somebody from the 501st make it right off the bat, because, come on, dudes, we've been making this shit. And I do understand some of the choices they made in Kenobi, the Obi-Wan show, because the armor looks good. The armor I have looks good, but you can't really do a whole lot of movement in it. So when you're shooting clones and they're falling down, you need to have ways for them to do that. So I understand that. But yeah, Rebels, I need to go back and do a rewatch. It's just such a good show. So many lovely little surprises. I mean, to think that there's people that don't know that Obi-Wan and Maul had another duel, a final duel, that was probably one of the shortest but best lightsaber fights in Star Wars. You would never see Old Man Rex. Just so many fucking things. That whole Maul storyline. Siege of Mandalore, the Order 66 stuff. Oh no, those were in Clone Wars Season 7. But yeah, there's a shit ton that you're missing out on if you did not see Rebels. Getting closer on this helmet that it will absolutely need at least one more go around of glazing spot putty to get some of these issues. All right, and kids, oh, well, hopefully it'll stop raining for you, sir. I need to pull mine back out. You know, I keep getting old lightsaber videos suggested to me through TikTok, and it's probably been 2 months since I've really spun a saber. I should get them back out again once it gets a little cooler. Again, I'm going to blame that shit on the heat, because the heat is redunculous. And I'm just using this file to kind of go around and get these lines where the glazing spot putty fills them in. Just the details. All right, kiddos, and there we have a mostly sanded helmet. So I'm going to rinse all these pieces off, and then probably later on try to throw one more layer of filler primer on there and just see where we're at. So just the standard Rust-Oleum. All right, kids, I appreciate you being here as always. I'm Darth Rage. This is Darth Rage.